Yeah, apparently not. I tried to go live on TikTok on my other account, but TikTok's messing up. My body's tired, but my brain won't shut off. Trying to. Oh shit. Okay. Oh, that's kind of crooked. Okay. Oh, good. Bye, guy. Bye, guys are my favorite kind of guy. Are you Lee's Viola? Was it like Lee's Viola, I think? I was live hopping to show support, and then it kicked me out. And so I tried to go live, and then it wouldn't do that either. Suggestions for a sore throat? If it's a sore throat from a cold, you take honey, crushed fresh garlic, or the crushed garlic in the jar, and cayenne pepper, and you mix together about like that much, like a half a cup. No, not a half cup, about a fourth a cup. It tastes like shit. And then you eat it really slowly over an hour without drinking. Yeah, I think it's what all of TikTok. It's got a glitch right over TikTok. It's about a third or a fourth of a cup. I got my nails done. Oh, it tastes like shit, but it works. The side effects of my husband's radiation treatment. Oh. Okay. You add cayenne to it and eat it slow over an hour without drinking anything, and it'll take away strep throat too. Oh, okay. Okay. Has anybody bought my book yet? I've never had spell work on a a disease. Yeah, I wrote a ingredient book. It's called the Spellcasting Companion for Physical Witchcraft. But you can just search Witchfoot book. It'll come out. I heard some of my haters were mad at the price. And I was like, that book contains more than all the existing spell ingredient books that are available right now combined. I think $40 was a good price. I was like, y'all are crazy. Our thoughts are on El Dorado. What's going on with El Dorado? It comes in a Amazon envelope. No. Haters were mad at the price. I want to find the person on Witchtalk that hates me the absolute most, and I want to send them a copy of the book. You know who I should send it to? Chaotic Witch Aunt, Frankie. I need to send it to Frankie. It's a physical book. Doesn't Frankie got over 1 million? Frankie's got to have a mailbox somewhere. Frankie hates me quietly. I'll put it to you like that. Frankie hates me quietly. I think it's their comments. PR package style. Yep. I see Frankie's comments. So Frankie hates me on the download. Because Frankie doesn't like confrontations. I self-published because I wanted more control over my first published book. And if you've never published, getting a publisher is really hard. No, we don't have beef. I don't have beef with anyone. Let's put that out right now. I don't have beef with anyone. There's people who don't like me, but I don't have beef with anyone. You know how politically correct Frankie is? There's no way that she would ever support me in my mouth. But yeah, I want to send it to Frankie. People stop being overly sensitive. Oh yeah, Lillian. I mean, the age of Aquarius is 2460 years long, and we're only about 11 years into it. I don't have a problem with Frankie. I don't have a problem with anyone. People have problems with me. And then they get mad because I don't hate them back. I don't have a problem with not near one of them. None of them. that's ever talked smack to me or about me. I don't have a problem with none of them. Ain't no aliens. That's China or some other country getting nosy. Yeah, right, Lise? I don't have a problem with not one person that don't like me. And there are some people that would prefer, if that would celebrate if I didn't breathe. And that's the honest truth. Like, there are people that would prefer if I stopped breathing. The gym was fun. Have any other witch talkers? Mama's Sunfire. Bewitched. There's a lot. Wednesday's Witch. There's a lot. I can't think of them right now. Yeah, there's some real lot of them that would celebrate if I stopped breathing. And those are the most, politically correct social justice warriors out of all of them. They don't bother me. Who else is a pretty well-known creator? Well, almost all the well-known Pinterest witches can't stand me. I swear they think TikTok's real life for real. But like Coco can't stand me. Trying to think of some other bigger creators. Oh, good. Bye, guy. Karma has to do with lifetimes, not in one lifetime. Yeah, the Death Witch guy, yeah. That Loki guy. I can't even, his name is really weird. Loki some. Send you the book. I don't know yet. Did you already name that old guy? Birch? Talking about Uncle Birch? I don't have a problem with Uncle Birch. We don't teach the same. Fire Lotus, yes, Fire Lotus doesn't like me because I disproved his thing on, well, among the other things, I disproved his thing about you can use eggshell for baneful magic because it has like a microscopic amount of sulfur in it. Every plant's got sugar in it, but you're not going to use hemlock for love. They get mad about it. No, I don't do astrology reading. He just got mad about it. I'm like, no matter how many times you say it's true, it's still not going to be true. And then he said something about some appropriation crap that I never did. And I was like, your name is literally Fire Lotus. That's sacred over in Japan. What do you mean? I was like, what do you even mean right now? Oh, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was locked or not. It's still is not enough. It can't, just not going to do what you want it to do. Just like hemlock is full of sugar. not going to work in any sweetening spell that you do, no matter how bad you want it to work. I'm like, go cry about it. Wah, wah. Getting all bent out of shape, and I'm like, go. I don't care if you're upset. That's why it's pointless, Jack. What do you mean, send you the book? I'm not in charge of the book. Are you out of the country? Because Amazon is the one that sends the book. Oh, hey, baby bear. You have to tolerate death threats. Oh, yeah, they told me. Yeah. They told me that was that, oh, man, what is her name? Yes, they said that I should, it's okay to give me death threats because of who I am. Okay. I was like, you're just mad that I don't give a shit about your death threats. Get sad about it. Don't care. You say you want to kill me, go ahead. Give it your best shot. It won't work. Yeah, they were like, after so many followers, you just have to learn with death threats, it comes with the territory. I was like, okay. Okay. I don't know how many times I've been told to die or kill myself and all that. And I'm like, why would I do that? Do y'all not know those type of things don't faze me? Like, literally at all? Yeah. I'm like uber protected now. But I don't push my luck either. I do exactly what they want me to do. I ain't trying to. Yeah, they love talking out of pocket. I love my haters though. They send so many people to my page. So many people to my page. So many people. This one lady, I did a post on TikTok. You know that girl? You know that one lady? No, I won't be live for a long time, hopefully. You know that one lady that makes fun of cooking things and she goes, everybody's so creative. I just did one of those, except I did everybody's so witchy. And it's going really viral. Put you in, oh yeah, Edith. Yeah, remember I took her page down. Completely down. I did everybody's so witchy, right? And there's a lot more people laughing than mad, but one person said, I have never seen a Karen of Witch Talk. Why are you so angry? So I immediately changed my nickname to Karen of Witch Talk. Immediately. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to make it a series, whether people like it or not. Yeah, she was like, I've never seen a Karen of Witch Talk. Why are you so angry? And I said, I am immediately making this my nickname. Oh, yeah, the Lemon Hex one is on my second account. Oh, my God. My back hurt. Let me take a prescription pill. My shit hurts. I think Jaded is asleep. So I can't go get one of theirs. Hey, Dandy. And the thing is, like on the Everybody's So Witchy, if somebody did that to me, I would laugh my ass off. Go for it. Good. Go for it. I like being roasted when it's true. Like, what? Oh my God. What did the one guy call me? The guy who made the spell with the Pringles can? What's his name? Oh, dang. What is the name of the guy that made the thing with the Pringles can? I like him. He blocked me, but I liked him. What did he call me? Pissfoot. I like to die laughing. I've had so many. I've had so many different names. Yeah, I like that guy, but he blocked me. So I follow him on my ghost account. No, Lemon is usually used for cleansing. It can be used to make their life sour, but you have to combine it with just other baneful ingredients like alum or nightshade, or you have to combine it with other baneful ingredients. But the majority of people use it for cleansing and happiness. Same thing with vinegar. If you're going to use it, you have to pair it with, yeah, it's rough, but it works. You have to mix it with baneful ingredients. Otherwise, vinegar is great for cleansing and removing blockages. So, you know, a lot of the people that hate me should really buy my book. It would help them. Just making music with physical instruments. I guess that that would be a good metaphor. All right, so I need to send one of my books to Frankie. I think Frankie's the biggest creator that I know for a fact can't stand me. No, it didn't work. What? Do you have to go buy it? I get some free. Yeah, you can use music in a spell. Yep. Yep. My sciatic is like, bitch. Oh, my goodness. You can see how tired I am. If you can see this one, you know, you usually see this one, but if you can see this one, you can tell I'm not sleeping. It's mostly USA or North American ingredients, but it does tell you, for instance, I do tell you how to match it to the ingredients you have in your country, because the stuff is in every country. So you have oak trees here and over there and over there and over there and over there. And I explain to you how to do that by looking up the scientific name. And then you find one that's in my book, and it'll match that correlation. I don't want to. I don't want to drink mugwort tea. I don't like shit that affects me like that. Love you too. Yeah, I don't like stuff that messes with my perception. I don't even smoke weed hardly ever. Do you think it is possible? Well, sure, it's possible because there's alternate universes. If I get a publisher, I'll do that. I'm not going to do it on my own. That's too much. Well, just remember that Zoloft will turn you into an absolute zombie for about 3.5 weeks. And then everything clears up and everything is much better. How many milligrams do they have you on? And are they gonna raise it if it's low? I've got to go back to sleeping on the floor. This bed needs to sell immediately. You see my email? Probably not. I hadn't checked my email. I need a secretary. I'm a triple Scorpio stellium. I had a dream where I just suddenly appeared at your home. I said, maybe you astral projected and you didn't know. I didn't see the milligrams, Dolan. It didn't put anything up. $250. Damn, I didn't know they went up to $250. Okay, well, just know that it'll make you into a zombie for about 3.5 weeks. Don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. When you come out of that zombie state, it's like all of a sudden the whole world is clear and you're like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Before booking. I can see clear. Yeah, that's exactly the Jimmy Cliff version of that song. Is what it feels like. What is that? Oh. Go into the gym. I never thought I'd be saying those words. I'll be right back. I'm going to the gym. But health reasons say I have to go. Gotta go. Gotta go. I've lost all my weight before, but then I had a heart attack. It wasn't related though. I fucking hate it. I've done it before. I got down to my ideal weight of 176-ish. I don't open my WhatsApp until the week of my readings. Why Sundazed? I'm almost there. I'm like 270 something. I'm too big. It's not healthy. I am, well, I'm 5'7" now. I was 5'8". Good night. Yeah, I did it. And then I had a heart attack. That kind of put it on hold. How much colloidal silver to take? For daily, was it your maintenance? Oh, hey, Grimes. Or is it the treatment dose? Yeah, I'm losing weight for the health problem, for the health issues, not for the, I don't give a shit what I look like. Okay, so the treatment is, you know the little cups that like come with NyQuil? So you take a cup of that every 2-3 days for a month. And that's it. So every 2-3 days for a month, you take like a NyQuil cup of it. I am on it right now because I had an issue with an abscess. Well, it depends on how much you're taking twice a day. You know what I mean? If you're just doing little swigs out of the bottle twice a day, no, it turns you blue if you take it for a lifetime. 3 teaspoons. Yeah, 3 teaspoons. 3 teaspoons a day. I wouldn't say twice a day. Baking soda and sea salt is supposed to rip crap out of it. I don't know. Yeah. 3 teaspoons a day. You should be okay. Or 3 teaspoons every other day. You would have to drink like the entire bottle in one day. So it's not like it's highly toxic or anything like that. Well, it's a purple blue. It'll turn you the color of a bruise. Have you ever seen the blue guy? Look up the colloidal silver blue guy. He's taking massive amounts of it every day. He ain't never been sick, but he's blue. But when you take it as a treatment, you take, yeah, but 3 teaspoons a day every other day should be straight. But after a month, stop. It should be cleared up within that month. Now I'm mad. Oh. No, it's not illegal. Yeah, he's patine. He looks like a big bruise. And his hair is white now. But I've been trying, well, not right now, but I got some colloidal gold. And I'm going to see if it does not what the crazy people says it does, but what the medical people says it does. Once I stop being hurt by this abscess thing. Yeah. Things went downhill. Brandy told me I like it. I would get, you would need to book another reading because I'm all booked up. And things going downhill, I don't like the sound of that. I think I have openings still in March. The blue dude in Big Fat Liar. I love you too, Mariah. Because a lot of times when people think that things are going downhill, it's not necessarily, it may look like that, but it's because your people are clearing shit out of the way. Search colloidal silver blue man. Happy birthday, Misty. You can go to witchfoot.com and go scroll down on the first page and it'll say book with me. All right, Cordelia. All right. I'll try shit another one. That was an issue. No, no, you don't need an hour and 30. Just get an hour general consult. I think I still have openings in March. I don't think April will open up for you to book until the middle of March. Do I do weddings? I've been asked to do weddings, but nobody followed through. So I've never put a price on it because there's herbs and hand fasting cords. It depends on like if you're gonna pay for me to get out there, if I'm gonna stay with you, or I'm gonna be in a hotel. If you want me to do the hand fasting cords with the herbs, that kind of stuff. And nobody's ever went all the way through with it. So I never have settled on a price. Yes, I can marry people. What reading would you recommend for my first time with you? Mariah, when's the last time you got read with cards? With any kind of cards? I go out into the woods barefoot. I don't care if it's a place on the side of the road or a public park. I'll wear my shoes out there, but when I get to where I want to get, I will take my shoes off. I'll scrunch them up underneath the leaves until they hit the dirt, and I'll just lean against a tree. Good night. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get that pricing because you're not the first person that asked me about that. Have I ever heard about the Werewolf Magic book? I have not. Hey, Sammy. All right, if you've never had a reading, I would suggest get at least an hour and a half oracle reading because a lot of it will come out. So it's usually longer. I don't think, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, it depends. Like, it depends if the person's going to let me stay with them or if I'm going to have to stay in a hotel, if I'm going to pay for it, if you're going to pay for it, if you're paying for a ticket, if I'm paying for the ticket, if you want me to just to show up, if you want me to do the hand fasting cords, if you want the herbs. You know what I mean? It's a, what is it called? What's that thing? Civil ceremony? Civil ceremony. Can't remember what it's called. Ever heard of any folklore about pink purple lightning? No. My grandma was from the Appalachians, and I'm trying to get back to the Appalachians. I'll marry anybody you want to. I don't care. I'll marry you to a chair. I don't care. If you're happy with a chair, I'll marry you to it. Can I use my tarantulas in my workings? Yeah, so tarantulas are good for two things. So, to irritate the piss out of somebody in a curse or a hex, you just want to use the hairs from the tarantula. The for protection, you can use the whole shed skin of the tarantula and the webbing, because I know they do leave web. I think when they walk or some shit, or in their egg sacs. That's good. The empty egg sacs are good for child protection, and any kind of spider webbing in general can be used for ensnaring, trapping. That's also in my book, The Spellcasting Companion for Physical Witchcraft, for $39.99 on Amazon Books or Barnes & Noble. Yeah, the leopard and beardy sheds, if they don't eat it, that can be used for child protection too. Well, honey, I don't know enough about New World and Old World tarantulas. I don't know a thing about that. 3911. What? What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Let me look. Do I have any charge on this phone? I don't know. Let me see. If I have any charge. I do. Just got the book in the mail. Yay! Where is the... Hold on. I am ordained through... Hold on. The Universal Life Church. I can marry anyone, anywhere in the United States of America. Trying to log into my account. Hold on. How they not match? Hold on. I can't see what y'all are typing. Stop. Anyway, yeah. I am ordained through the Universal Life Church. which means I can marry anybody of any religion or lack thereof anywhere in the continental United States. Huh. I'm not ready to talk about me and Big Guy. Hey, Chantal. Are you a witchcraft? I'm a witch. What made me get ordained? Because people were asking me if I could marry them. I suck at accessing Akashic records. But over on TikTok, Cat in Boots can probably help you with that. Yeah, he kept having people wanting me to marry him. And I didn't want to be a notary because that's per state. So I found the Universal Life Church because it's basically so that you can qualify to marry anyone of any religion. It's like $40. You can go do it for $40. Calling herself the mother god to the Anunnaki. She's Tiamat. I wonder if Tiamat knows that. Yeah, it's like $40. And then there's different fees that go along with it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's literally $40, Sunflower Lady. From the Universal Truth. What is the name of the damn? Universal Life Church. $40. There's also the Blue Bodhi. She is whack. I've never even spent enough time with Blue for Bodhi to know to make a judgment call. Yeah, because it's not, when you get ordained, you perform the marriage ceremony. Okay, you still got to go to the courthouse if you want to get legally married. If you don't, you can do the civil union, which is just by me. Like, we were marrying people before gay marriage was legal. She added salt to it. Alrighty then. Yes, it's different. Yes. You get a legal marriage in your state if you want the benefits of being married. If you want the legal benefits of being married, you go get married at you get the thing from the courthouse. I prefer spiritual marriages. What happens if you put salt in a hex? If you put a lot of salt in your hex, you're going to defeat the hex. You're going to trap the hex right where it is. You know what I mean? What was I saying? I prefer spiritual marriage because that is, as long as both partners understand, to me, being married to one another and spiritually is stronger than any legal document. The legal document just says, under the law, you're saying you're married. And that's, in my opinion, nobody gives a shit now. Nobody cares. But if you make oaths to each other, and your partner takes the oath as seriously as you do, that holds a lot more weight in the person. That's a lot more valuable to the individuals, you know? I don't know why the government needs to know who I'm married to anyway, quite frankly. I don't think that's the government's business, but that's just me. Like, why does the government gotta know who the fuck I'm married to? It's just like I don't register any of my guns. That ain't none of the government's fucking business. It's none of your business unless I'm buying like nuclear warheads and, you know, military grade ammunition. But I don't. It's nobody's business. I buy my guns out of the back of people's cars. I'm never going to register them. Believe me, if I get to a point in my life where I need to use my gun on someone, I promise you, I am not going to give a fuck about an unregistered weapon charge. I promise you, I'm not going to give a shit. They never asked me to register me by a caster, but yeah, I'm not going to register nothing. If you give me a confiscate my gun, I'm just going to get another one from somebody else's trunk as soon as I get out. Like, it amazes me the amount of money that people will pay for a new gun. Oh, you don't have to say pew pew. We on YouTube. Yeah. Everybody knows somebody that's got a gun for sale. I don't give a shit. I know we're so used to speaking in TikTok code. I even have one person that always calls me if they got one. Because when somebody's selling a gun, that means they need money right then. And if I got the money, I'll get it. I'll test fire it. And it's South Carolina, so it don't matter where I test fire it. Nobody cares here. I'll test fire it. If it's good and shoot straight, I'll get it because they sell it to you cheap. Like, I cannot imagine. I mean, what's the cost of a damn 9mm right now? Let me just see the prices. I'm just curious. Let's see. Buy a 9mm. Let's see. Yes. $549 for a base model Smith & Wesson. Are you kidding me? For a base model Smith & Wesson, $549. You have lost your damn mind. I'll give you $200 out of the back of the trunk, and it better be in mint condition. Oh, here's one for $519.99. Well, this is what I tell people with the school shooting and all the stuff they put up with it. All you got to do is go to the school at night, throw the guns over the fence in an area that not many people go to, walk right into school, and then during the break, walk right the hell out and get the guns and walk right back into school with them. Like, they don't be thinking like criminals. There's a 9mm that it's a H&S. It's an H&S. It's a big ass. It's a 9mm, but it like automatically reloads. It's probably $1,500. No, that's why I buy it out of the trunk. It's a H&S 9mm. It'll auto shoot, but not like a I've always wanted one. I think they're illegal as fuck. What is it? Let me see what it's called. I haven't found one yet. I feel certain it's absolutely illegal. Let's see, H&S. H&... Shit. I ain't never paying that kind of stuff for a gun. What? H&S. What's the name of that damn gun? H&S semi-automatic pistol. Yeah. It's got a big topper that goes onto it. And pep, pep, pep. Yeah, it's a semi-auto. It's a semi-auto 9mm. And it's called a H&S something, something, something. It was on a movie. I'll tell you how long ago I saw it. It was on a movie with... Come on. The guy, he was on that movie, The Wrestler. He used to be super hot. And then he got botched plastic surgery, but he's still super cool and super hot anyway. What is his damn name? What's that actor's name? He was also in 9.5 Weeks. Mickey Rourke. All right. Mickey Rourke movie. Damn it. I don't know what it's called. You okay, Pookie? I don't remember what movie it is, but he's got that gun in that movie. What's the what's that big caliber? What's the big caliber barrel pistol? No, it's got the fucking gun is big. I mean, it's heavy and solid. I got a Glock. It's a barrel pistol. No, not 50 caliber. I can't remember the name of the caliber. No. Hold on, here we go. Right? You know what I'm talking about. It's a damn... Is it a 72? Is it a 72? .357. That's what I'm talking about. The .357. That's a bad motherfucker. .357 to take your ass out. There's one, this maker that I like it. I gotta find it. There's one that's different that I like. It's a revolver. I like it. I can't remember what it is. Ruger. The Ruger 357. That one is like matte black. $719, like never. I think I bought mine for like $250. I don't know how we got talking about guns. Oh, I was talking about how it ain't none of the government's business who I'm married to, and I said just like it ain't none of the governor government's business what gun I have. And I don't know why everybody, the pro gun people, why do they think that Democrats and independents don't have guns? Why do they think that? I find that so bizarre. Like they really think that all of us are like, nah, I don't like guns. Bitch, I will shoot you dead. You come onto my property. I will kill you. I find it so odd that they're like, blah, 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 your guns. Like, what? Or how the people that arm themselves with the closest to military grade you can get. Well, you gonna fight off the whole army if they come after you? I don't care how much ammunition you have. If the United States government decides to come against you, you're going to lose. I don't care how much ammunition you have. And another thing, if you're a prepper, right, and we have some kind of apocalypse, you are literally making yourself a target. Because believe me, you won't be able to kill us all. We know that where you're at is where all the supplies we need. And there's only so many people that you can stop. Only so many people that you can stop. You just make yourself a target. Like, even if it's just common people, like during the apocalypse type event, you get a couple thousand of them getting together and running at you. You ain't gonna kill but so many, and we still gonna get in, kill you, and take all your shit. Jada's fine. Or the government is definitely gonna come in there and kill you all and take your shit because they're gonna need it for their troops. And they really be thinking all this stuff they got gonna stop somebody. No, it just makes you a target. That's crazy. Yeah, those people with the bunkers, the high-tech bunkers that are underground, obviously don't know about the hackers that are going to be whole ass leaders because the hackers will get in there and unlock everything. Yeah, like that's my only thing with doomsday preppers. I think regular preppers, in case of something like a solar storm that takes down the electricity and shit like that, I think that's smart. You know what I mean? A lot of people ain't taught how to survive anymore. But like the doomsday preppers, like we're gonna come for you. I don't know. Try to astral project from the Pope. It's probably protected though. Like they just making themselves targets. The first thing, let me tell y'all something. The first thing that I'm doing if we had some kind of nuclear anything or any kind of apocalyptic is I'm going right down the road. Well, it's not right down the road. It's about 10 miles down the road. To the, it's the closest natural park we have down here in rural South Carolina. There is something to eat naturally 365 days a year in that park. That's why they preserved it. I couldn't tell you how many nut trees are in there, berry trees, critters, insects. I'm going down there immediately. Immediately. All these, because people going to come through and with what they got, and they're going to raid people's houses, period. There's not going to be nobody to help you. Mm-mm. I'll leave mine. I'll leave my house open and leave. Y'all can do whatever the hell you want. I'm out. Yeah, I'll eat bugs. Which I'll be the fattest person living in the woods you ain't ever seen. Which apocalyptic event is the most likely to happen in my honest, educated opinion? Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm comparing statistics. Hold on. Okay. All right. Statistically, a solar storm that overpowers our magnetosphere. That would be number one. That shuts down all electricity and fries every satellite for global communications that we have. So that would be my number one. My number two would be the mini ice age that we are 100% heading towards. And I know that y'all that don't know about it be like, we have global warming. Yeah, I know. I know. And the last one, I would say nuclear war, because once one person throws, everybody's going to throw, and then there is going to be no land to own. So, even Putin knows that. Even he knows that. He said it. He's like, can't nobody own anything if we blow it all off the. So, that would be in that order. We haven't had a proper solar storm, which happens cyclically, in quite some time. 1800s, I believe. And we have nothing to stop that, just so y'all know. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing you're going to do. Do I think it's going to happen in our lifetime or a couple of hundred years? You absolutely have no way of knowing with the solar flare. Um, I'm not talking about pole shifting. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that. The poles can shift and you wouldn't even know it. They make it out to be a disaster, but it's not. The ice age, we have to get a much higher concentration of methane before the Earth drops itself into an ice age. We're almost there. Because what they don't tell you on the news is, thanks to the permafrost defrosting, it's not mystery viruses you have to worry about. It's the millions of tons of methane that are coming out. That's what happens when you freeze green grass, which is what happened on permafrost. And so there are bubbles of permafrost blasting out of Siberia. I'm talking football fields across and football fields deep. And so when the Earth gets to a certain, it's not the temperature, it's what's causing the temperature. So as soon as that methane level gets too high, that's when the Earth slings into an ice age. And this is why I tell y'all and have to bring out the graphs, because y'all are like, global warming, global warming. Yeah, we got global warming. We always have. Humans sped it up by the equivalent of about a minute and 30 seconds. That's about the equivalent of us being here. Why human beings think they have this big, huge effect on the planet, I'll never know. Not that that doesn't give you a free reign to pollute it. The Earth ain't never seen plastic before. But when the heat goes up, y'all got to understand that the heat going up is not new. That's why they only show you a chart from the 1800s to today. They do that so that they can get your money for green green energy. You notice that they've been running on green energy since like 2000 or 99, and we ain't had nothing happen because it's not feasible. They keep on doing it, and people keep on voting for them. But yeah, it's the methane level. When it gets so hot that the permafrost starts giving up all that methane, and we only know this from the records, if we go by just the last million years of the planet, you can see it, just like a pattern. And we couldn't, the scientists still can't figure out exactly why until all the methane started popping out of the permafrost. And then they were like, wait a minute, because methane is like 6 billion times worse than carbon dioxide. So the scientists were like, wait a minute, we need to go back to those ice cores and look for methane. And preceding the drops for the ice age, the methane level gets to a point that the earth deems, however the earth works, that's not doable. And so it slings into a ice age. And when I say slings, I mean 10% drops per decade. Per decade. And once it gets, after about 20 years, so that's after about a 20-degree drop, then you have that refrigeration effect. Then there's more frozen water than liquid water, and then it slings you in there within another 5-10 years. You're in a snowball. Yeah. Yeah, they always put my life down. So theoretically, as I say, yes, our Homo sapiens in very small numbers and Neanderthals both survived the last ice age. Both of them did. So, in extremely, Homo sapiens were really devastated. The last ice age was from 100,000 years ago till 25,000 years ago. So was that like 75,000 years? And humans in very small populations survived it, and Neanderthals survived it. So, what do you think about all of those news articles about the Earth's core stuff? Well, if you look at the scientific data, it's been slowing down, but they can't really announce that because then people freak out. But I think it's been slowing down. It started slowing down a while ago. Hold on. I gotta ask how long ago, because they didn't announce it then, because people be like, oh my God. When did the Earth's core start slowing down? When? It started slowing down in the late 2000s. What this causes is the reason that we know that is because whenever there's a earthquake, we have seismographs all over the globe. So basically, it takes a ultrasound of the planet. So when you have an earthquake over here, that goes through the planet, and this seismograph over here on this side of the planet, it takes an ultrasound of the core. So that's how they figured it out. But even Michio Kaku will told you that we have no idea. We have no idea. What they hypothesize is it's going to reverse directions, which causes a pole shift or pole switch, whatever. And one of the realistic things that it can do is make our days longer before it kicks back up into gear, going the opposite direction, because it causes the Earth's rotation to slow. So we might get longer days until it kicks back up again. So you might have 25-hour days for a few years, 26-hour days. And then once it kicks back up in gear, you will have shorter days again. But here's the thing. Here's what they're not telling y'all, because we have no idea. Technically, when the core stops, you gotta think the core is solid and it's spinning, and then there's hot lava around it that is liquid. So when the core stops, that part will still spin for a while. But if you'd use this model, if you make a model of the Earth, this is what they don't tell you. So if you make a model of the Earth under the same circumstances, and then you stop the core, the outside keeps going for a while, the sphere keeps rotating, and then, yeah, that's nothing new, that cracking, Kenya. That happens all the time. You just didn't have the news before. This part's still rotating, and then the core will start rotating in the opposite direction. And at some point, this is the part they're not telling you, the liquid has to start turning the way of the core, which causes the planet to start rotating in the other direction. That's the part they're not telling you. Because you want to talk about temporary disaster if people are here. That causes all the jet streams in the oceans to do the same thing. All the air jet streams to get shifted because the water is shifted. And then when the planet starts rotating the other way, all that changes. All the jet streams as we know it, all the currents, that all changes because now the Earth is going the other direction. So that's the part they're leaving out, because people would absolutely lose their mind. And it happens very gradually. Very, very gradually. So it has a lot of effects. But at this time, we're not going to feel that. In 100 years, yeah, they will feel it, but we're not going to feel it. That's why you won't see it. Maybe they got somebody to do it on YouTube to show you what happens. What can I say about the precession of the equinox? What, you mean if everything reverses? There's no telling. If everything reverses, we're going to start out turning really slow. And then at our end game, we might be turning faster in the opposite direction than we ever did in this direction. Oh, yeah, it'll affect. So whatever on the tectonic plates, whatever plates pushed against each other, the ones when they come together, I think it's induction, where they push into each other and push mountains up, will then reverse and be the other way. They'll start spreading. And the ones that were abduction, where they pull apart, I probably get my words wrong, those will start pushing together and making mountains. How do you think you have crazy ass rock formations? It's not all from just a mountain. It pushes and pulls and things, stuff like that. No, they found out why the Mayans had a serious freshwater problem. That is on the History Channel somewhere. They finally figured that out. You can see the Southern California now. California at the base of Big Bear. It also throws the animals off. So you have It's like in opposite positions, yeah. So pole switches messes with migrating animals. Because they have natural compasses. Compasses will do the opposite. It'll be a. It's not nothing that the Earth won't go through. The Earth will get through it fine. Humans should be intelligent enough to get through it fine, although we will go back to the days of Darwinism, because no chance of any electronics or anything like that working. No medications, nothing like that. So the human being population would definitely suffer a lot. Yeah, it took them a long time to figure that out. They had to leave. There was no water left. Not even in those big-ass Wahalote things. You know, those sinkholes? Wasn't even in there. It took them a long time, though, because, I mean, it looks so green and nice, you know? But, yeah, I think it's funny that... Now, plastics we shouldn't have done. They're going to be plastics around forever. Golly, that was the biggest mistake ever. But when the Earth has enough, it'll shake us off. Just like fleas. Look what it did with the dinosaurs. Not all of them. Some of them died from well, look at the Cambrian period. So we had that explosion of life during the Cambrian period, and then it stops. And we don't know why yet. What happened? Well, Earth apparently had enough. Is this the Kali Yuga? I don't know if this is the Kali Yuga or the other one. It's been a long time since I checked out my Yugas. I think we have... I'd have to look up my Yugas. Let me look. It's been a minute since I've done the Yugas. No, not that version. I mean the really old version. I mean the really, really old version. Okay. Kali Yuga, which began in 3102 BC, will last 432,000 years. At the close of Kali Yuga, the world will be destroyed. Yeah. And then there is something, it's the Kali Yuga, but there's other ones inside the Yuga which line up with the ages, the zodiacal ages, which we just entered the age of Aquarius. I think ages are 2160 years. How long is an age? No, it is not 1,000 years. No. Zodiac. 2,160 years. And that was what the Mayans got right. Because the end of the age of Pisces was approximately in 2012. And so we have roughly... Oh my God, I can't brain. We have roughly 2,112 years left of the age of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius. Yeah. So that's why I tell people, and they're like, "Oh my God, the age is coming." Nope, you got a while. You're not going into the 5D, crazy spirit talk person. You literally have 2,112 more years to go. So they need to calm down with that. The Kali Yuga ends in another 4,432,000 years. 2,100. No, not in the year 2112. No. That's not what I said. Okay, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. I said the age of Aquarius has another 2,112 years to go. So that would be 2023 plus 2,000. Whoops. The year 4135. You got some time. You got some time. Like, we are the starters. So I expect it to be looked back on like Pythagoras one day, or Plato, somebody like that. Yeah, LiDAR's great. Yeah, we got some time. Got some time. I forget what the Brahmin year is. It's the main reason I went, one of the many reasons I went over to Hinduism. Because they had so this is one of the things that they have. So according to, now this is from 5,000 years ago. I hope it goes through. I still got loans I've been putting off for what, fucking 40 years. Okay, so this is from a book that is 5,000 years old. Okay, ready? They calculated this back then. According to Hinduism, the total age of the universe is 311.04 trillion years old. Now, according to as far back as we can look currently with science, they're saying it's from 11 to 20 billion years old. But 5,000 years ago, they said no. The total age of the universe is 311.4 trillion years. The current age that we're in is around 155,000.5 trillion years. The Earth starts out with the Satya Yuga, which is 1,728 million years. Treta Yuga, which is 1.296 million years. Dwapara Yuga, which is 0.864 million, 864,000 years. And the Kali Yuga, which is 432,000 years. And then it breaks down even further. So they had this shit wrote down and worked out 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. Isn't that crazy? 5,000 years ago. Another thing besides that that drew me to Hinduism was okay. Trying to find the first quote. All right, so in the Hindu Upanishads, this is also 5,000 years old. They talk about quantum physics. Okay, behind the stage of the world, this is how they said it. Behind the stage of the world, there is a transcendent, infinite, dimensionless reality that is limited and misunderstood by the human senses, which can only give a very partial and misleading idea. For if the world was a cucumber seed, because they use cucumbers a lot over there, this universe would be but one particle of that. Time is perceived by the senses in a linear and limited way, and consequently, there is a wrong conceptual image of it. So, they talked about nonlinear time, quantum physics. They talk about evolution. 5,000 years. And that's just when they wrote it down, y'all. They wrote it down 5,000 years ago. So how long did they talk about it before? Yeah. There is so much of that in the Hindu text, which is why Hinduism matched what I already had in my head. And that's why I went with Hinduism for years, because there you'll hear people of the Islamic faith tell you that math and all that came from the Arabics and the Muslims. No, it did not. It was 100% stolen from the Vedic text. They get really mad when I tell them that. And I'm like, go cry in a river. I don't care. 100% stolen from the Vedic text. And anyway, that's why I had converted to the oldest form of Hinduism, because they have math. They have passages in there that talk about how atoms are arranged to make matter, how vibration is what is actually forms matter. And I lived very Hinduism. I converted. I worked and was close with an entire Punjabi family, and I chose Hinduism at the same time I started my BPD therapy, and it changed my life. Changed my life. That's why I chose Hinduism as well, because it is a lifestyle and I needed it. Oh, I needed it at that time. And didn't think I'd ever leave Hinduism, but here we are. But yeah, there's so much in the Hindu text. There's nothing that we have come up with yet that wasn't already written down in one of the Hindu texts. Just period. I already converted. But apparently I thought apparently my time with Hinduism was over, because that's not what I was, I didn't anticipate any of that. But the practice that I am in is astonishingly similar to Hinduism. It's just through an African lens. So they say almost the exact same things, but instead of cucumber, they use a type of melon. It's almost the exact same thing. Because you got to remember, Hinduism, a lot of it is in the Sumerian. We just haven't finished translating all that. But you got to remember that that's between the Sumerians and the Hindus. Are those the first people that wrote it down? Already converted. It was spoken and passed down since we was in Africa. It's just those civilizations are the ones that started writing it down. I always like to make that clear to people, because when you get into one of the oldest faiths, Ifa, over in Africa, it's the same thing. Same thing. How are you settling the Abrahamic taint? Taint? What? What? And the people don't know a lot about the Jewish faith. They think the Jewish people believe in one God, and that's not what it is. The Jewish faith, because they have their entire pagan history, they don't deny it at all. They have it. It's written down there too. No, not in the physical body. Well, he said taint. I'm like, there's an Abrahamic taint? What? It's when people, there's a reason that the Jewish faith keeps its shit written in Hebrew. There's a reason. Because when they started translating it out of Hebrew, that's when it got just absolutely destroyed. It gets ruined, absolutely destroyed, because they had monks translate it. They didn't have a fucking Hebrew-speaking person translate it. That's the problem. Everything that is written that comes from Hebrew that was not translated by a person who speaks Hebrew is wrong. I've read it over and over, some of the oldest texts, and it's wrong. Even the Greek versions are wrong. It's wrong. And I'm like, oh. I did on my YouTube, one of my oldest videos is me properly translating Genesis 1 out of Hebrew. I properly translate it and had it double checked by 3 different Jewish secular, and one of them, 2 of them were secular and practicing. And when I read it to my mom, when I translated it to my mom correctly, she about passed out. Yeah. Everything that we know for a fact, astronomically, not astrologically, astronomically, from science and math, was already written in Genesis 1. It's already there. Hebrew, Genesis 1. But when I showed my mom my correct translation, like, it blew her mind completely. I was like, this is right there. It's it just, God, I don't know what Christians, even the old school Christians, man, oh wait, I'm not on TikTok. They fuck shit up. Like, damn. I mean, Jesus was a Jew. He didn't know how to write that shit down. No, we got to have it wrote down afterwards by the person who knew a person who knew a person who was a neighbor to a person that knew Jesus. They wrecked it, dude. They wrecked it. And Muhammad, if you put Muhammad's story and how that Quran got written, and you really look at it, that man was fucking schizophrenic. He was crazy. He was crazy. I don't know about Egypt there. That man was crazy. He was insane. That is one of the worst holy books in existence. Oh my God. It's like you had Judaism, which was fine, and then it mutated into these two horrible, deformed children. And you're like, what happened? What happened? Yeah, when you go about his life story, how he gets to where he gets, and then his wife was writing down, like, and you look at all that stories, you're like, this man has lost his mind. He lost his motherfucking mind. It wasn't even being a mad genius. He was just crazy. Like, oh my God. And I have all that on my YouTube too. Boy, that's one, when I went down that road explaining how the rituals and practices of Hinduism are pagan. I mean, the rituals and practice of Islam was pagan. With facts and resources and citations. It somehow it made it over to Islam Talk or Muslim Talk, and that account got yeeted. Like, pre-Islam, and Muhammad ordered this, pre-Islam, just like every other faith on the planet, rocks, spirits would come down to certain rocks. People would have rocks in their homes. And the area that is Mecca, or where they circumambiguate the big square, had rocks. Had rocks. Lots of them. Because the spirits would come down into the rocks. And then when Islam took over, they were like, oh no, only this one rock. I forget what Bible story they said it's from. Only that one rock. Oh, and by the way, they circumambiguated all the rocks that were in Mecca. That's how they did it. They all still made a pilgrimage there to the center that had all the different rock representations, and they circumambiguated it the same amount of times. And Muslims did not like that. And they didn't like when I was like, your Allah comes from a moon god. They didn't like any of that. The original Kabbalah that is written, the original practice of Kabbalah that is written in Hebrew and that language before Hebrew has never left the area of the general area of what is now Israel. It's never left it. Never left it. There is the version that everybody here reads and practices of the Kabbalah, but the original one has never left it. And like 12 people have access to it. And they're like 94-year-old Jewish rabbi guys. The original Kabbalah is closed. I think you can still go into the one that is trendy. There's a Kabbalah over here that people follow with the thing and the thing with the circles and the it's the Europeanized version. Like if you follow it back, you can find it back. It also played into alchemy and stuff like that. But you know what else I never understood? I never understood why people give Jews so much grief. For the life of me. For the life of me. I don't understand. No, they did not exist. I know that for a fact. They did not exist. Those are different aspects of the untouchable God. I get mad as hell when people be like, I work with Kelly. No, the fuck you didn't. You working with the dark feminine, but you ain't working with Kelly because that bitch didn't exist. But I never understood why Jewish folk get so much crap. And then what if the conspiracy theories were true? Like, what if they do own everything? Okay, and? And? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say Jewish folk did run the world. Okay, and? What? What are you going to do? Nothing. That's what you're going to do. I'll just never understand that. Like, what did Jewish people do? What did black people do? My God, they're hated everywhere. What the hell they do? Like, black folk are hated everywhere. What did they ever do to anybody? I don't understand. I don't understand. If you ain't in a country in Africa, somebody got a problem with you. And I don't understand. Like, what black folk do to anybody? Really? I'm not just talking about in America. Every other country will give black people shit. For what? For why? Why? What did they do to anyone literally ever? Sikhism seems to be pretty chill. Man, I just took out my chin hairs and I feel one. I have never seen Sikhs do anything aggressive, period. No matter what country you go to. All right, look, this hurts. You need to figure out your mind. Ow. Hey, flower twat. Ow. 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 I just did this. Epilator sock. God. Yeah, cuckoo, that's what I'm saying. No, that's not how Judaism ended up the way it was. People think that Judaism is monotheistic, and it's not monotheistic. I'm trying to think of the other word. It's Jewish religion is so effing misunderstood. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find a word. It's another mono word, and I can't remember it. What is the word? It's mono. Let me see. Yes. What you just said. That. Thank you. Monetary. That's the word I was looking for. And yeah, it's a monetary. And unlike monotheistic, which says there's only one, and the rest are demons or whatever. But if they paid attention to the Christian Bible is actually a monetary, because it says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," because there was other gods. So, but you know, they skipped that part. It went the ways of dumb people. And the other thing is also contrary to non-Jewish belief. Jewish people do not think that is a being. You know, like Christians be having that guy that looks up there, looks like Santa Claus. That's not what they think. At all. It too is a force. But, you know, Christianity wants to destroy everything. So. I think Asherah in the oldest Hebrew writings was a fertility god, if I remember correctly. I think she was only considered a mother goddess in certain subsets of Judaism. But don't quote me on that, because the way they have now, they'll make it be God's wife, you know. Which is impossible if God wasn't a being. So I guess it just depends on which way you come along with. I know the Canaanites had Asherah, Astarte, and somebody else. Well, yeah, one of them's Inyana. But Judaism, once I started studying Judaism, I loved it because they keep so many records. If it is anything related to Judaism, even back in the pagan, they keep it, they catalog it, they write about it. So you can, Inyana, that name originated with them too. Yes. They catalog it, you can find out about it. I love that there's this whole secular side to Judaism. And if I remember correctly, hold on. Let me check something. I don't want to get my names right. Yeah, in the Jewish original translation, man was created with dual gender, and then later in the scripture they separated them into male and female. So there's lots of stuff that the Judaic faith is fantastic. I loved reading about it, and I love when somebody finds me something new that I didn't know about it. I work with one young guy who is both the faith and secular about it, and so. But if you're curious as to what Genesis 1 actually says, that is on my YouTube. Genesis 1, when translated correctly, it tells you about how the different dimensions are created. And it is mistranslated into the Bible as waters. It separated the waters from the waters. The correct translation from Judaism is cosmic waters, which refers to the different dimensions. So he separated the dimensions from the dimensions before Earth was a thing. I think that comes before light, starlight, or anything else. But yeah, I'll give you a good rundown on that one. This is what I would love to do. I would love to take all the Judaic texts and all the Christian texts, whether canonized or not, and put them all in one big ass book. Because that's what Hinduism did. You got the Vedas, and you got the Upanishads, and then you got a couple other lesser known ones. And what they did is they built the collection, and they said, here's all the knowledge from all the different time periods in our past. Here's all of it. Here you go. That's what needs to be done. Christianity is all wrong. You can order it from Amazon. If you take all the Judaic text and all the Christian texts, including the ones that were skewed, and you gave it to Christians and you said, here's everything that we have. Here you go. Here. Hey, Allie. Yeah, I would need a rich sponsor that wants anarchy on the world to do that, because I certainly would. Did y'all know that anybody can make a Bible? Just so you know. Anyone can. But even like when these Christians get irritated with me, I have an encyclopedic Bible in there from 1801. And there is so much. If you compare my encyclopedic Bible from 1801 to a Bible, a New King James Version, there's so much gone. So much gone. And I'm always looking for an older English Bible that is complete. That's hard to find. So the 1801 Encyclopedic Bible is the only one that I have. And it's falling apart, but I don't care. I'm just very careful with it. But there's, I think it's when they started allowing anyone to make a Bible, it just made it worse. Because like the New Age Bibles, or the Bibles that are made in plain English, when I tell you it fucks it up even worse. They shouldn't have made the Bible dumber. We should have educated the people to read the older Bibles. It don't make no sense. It just doesn't. Like the Maccabees. My mom grew up with the Maccabees in the Bible. And the Gospel of Thomas. Don't get me started on the guy with the golden tablets in the woods. Although I ain't never met a mean Mormon in my life. I've been around several, There was Mormon families when I was coming up. I ain't never met a mean Mormon in my life, but damn. They're crazy. I love Laffy Taffy. I've heard about their magic underwear. I have never met a mean Mormon or had a Mormon ever proselytize to me. But they got some strange beliefs. Oh, shit. I used the wrong tooth stuff. Shit. It's going to taste like garbage. But then again, we have a sci-fi writer that started Church of Scientology, and for some reason, people think that's legitimate. Go ahead, Sunflower. I'm gonna have to get up off of here and take some sleeping pills, I guess. I can't ain't working. I love Life of Darwin. I like the big, long, square ones better. The way a candle burns is intuitive to the caster. Because since that is the person who made the spell, only they are going to interpret their candle correctly. There are some universalities about it. I do a couple burns on my page, on my TikTok page, to show some of the universalities. But the full burn is intuitive. Yeah, I went and sigils can be spells. I went and fixed that J. Louis. I'm gonna make a post about it so everybody can write it in. What is the quickly burn implant? I think that's where we're headed. The idea of like a cyborg type, well, that is a cyborg, or of a full robot is cool and all. But, well, I don't have peonies in there. Surely I got peonies in there. But, yeah. What was I saying? Oh. But I think the synthesizing of robotic aspects and people together, that's what's going to be the next step. But what they have to do before they can start doing that. Okay, no, let me change that because people don't care. The smart thing to do would be not to get any of them until they work off of your DNA signature. No, I never regret quitting my regular job. You should, liar. When they have, and they're there with some of the firearms and other things to where it's your DNA that activates it. And we're starting to do that with medicine, where you get medicine catered specifically to your DNA. But I wouldn't get any kind of implant until they got it to that point to be DNA activated, because that makes it impossible to, not impossible, but somebody would have to confiscate a significant amount of your DNA in order to hack it. So I think they have to come up with something much more intricate. They'll probably start implanting people in the brain a lot quicker, but I wouldn't get one unless it was integrated better, because you don't want somebody to be able to do an EMP pulse and turn your chip off. You know what I mean? You don't want a smart hacker to be able to hack into your brain and make you do stuff. You don't want that. So, but I think that's where we're headed. Robots are fine, but robots get too complicated, and I think the fusion of the two things will be the next role. Because there's bound to be a metal or something out there that can be universally implanted into people regardless of their tissue makeup. No, I hadn't heard of that curse of knowledge. I'm sure we'll go entirely too far with it. Probably already have, experimenting on people. But I don't know if y'all have seen the movie. Which Terminator movie has the new guy in it? The younger guy that also played later in Avatar. I like that movie. What Terminator movie is that? Anyway, that's a good example. That kind of integration where you can have some pretty severe injuries, but your replacement parts can be non-human. I never heard of that study, but it doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me when it comes to people. No. But yeah, I think there'll come a time when it's not just chips, but you get in a horrific car accident and it rips off part of your body, and when you wake up, that part of your body is robotic. Or you get paralyzed, and so they bypass it with robotics. I think that's a much more feasible thing, to integrate human tissue with computers and robotics than to have a freestanding autonomous type of robot. Well, that's why scientists' level of ethical is so much lower than everybody else's. We wouldn't have the breakthroughs that we do if all scientists were ethical. We wouldn't. Now, using black prisoners as guinea pigs is not okay. But think about people that are executed. Okay? So think about prisoners that are executed. What I'm saying is it's going to get commonplace. You know what I mean? So that when you wake up from the wreck, you're already hooked up. What was I saying? I lost my thought. salvation. Yeah. Yeah. Think about people that are executed. You can't tell me we're not using them, that they're just getting put to sleep. I know several substances that will make it look like you flatline, and you're not. You just can't tell me that every single one of those people, who they gonna tell? Who they gonna tell if you get executed at a prison, and you wake up in a lab? Who you gonna tell? No one. You're not gonna tell no one. And if you want a dead person to be alive so that you can test out technology, you think you just died on your getting put to death, and you wake up in a lab. I'm not saying it's not bad. I'm saying, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying it's not bad. That's not what I'm saying. We don't want to go down the road of the Nazis. That was just F up. But you can't tell me that like, especially if there starts being an uptick, if there ever starts to be an uptick in people cleaning out their death rows, yeah, I agree. I mean, pass a law that makes different the pedophiles get the death sentence. Because you know that they've already introduced mixed animal genetics into people. And I don't mean like half horse, but I mean like the genes for like a bat's ability to echolocate. Slipping that into the human genome. No way they haven't done that. There's no way they have not done that. There's just not. No way that they haven't done it. There's just no way they haven't done it. Because imagine if you didn't have the ability to repair blindness. Yeah, if you didn't have the ability to cure blindness, but you did have the ability to have someone develop echolocation. I don't see any problem with messing with the human genome. Not any. The problem is we don't know enough about it to be messing with it. That's the problem. Because junk DNA isn't junk DNA. It's DNA that we don't know what it does yet. And there are some genes where one gene can cause one thing. But the majority of the time, there's several genes that work at the same time. For instance, if you come out with red hair, freckles, and fair skin, your chances of asthma are very high. There's a couple other things that's high with them. Allergies are high. And we don't know why. So the junk DNA is what we don't know. If we knew everything that the junk DNA did, that would be different. That would be different. But the one thing that I know they're doing, is experimenting with the regeneration abilities of one family within a species of salamanders, because they are the only animals with bones and vasculature. Quetzalcoatl's. No, the little things with gills that everybody has as pets. What? What are those little guys? guys. I don't see anything wrong with physical immortality. I mean, eventually your brain's not going to work anymore, and then by then they'll be able to put you into a computer. Or will they? Axolotl! Okay. Axolotl. And we're not going to count lizards because they can only regrow their tails. Axolotl can regrow even parts of their brain. So not only can they lose an arm and grow it back, but they can lose part of their brain and grow it back. So I absolutely know they've been playing around with that. Because there's other things that can do that, like starfish and jellyfish and all that stuff. They don't have bones, and they don't have vasculature, and they don't have brains. But the axolotl can. And so the axolotls are in many labs to try to figure that out. That, Ursula, that's something you have to think about. I would not choose immortality, personally. I wouldn't mind extending it just to get wiser. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind living 200-300 years. But I would not want my consciousness put into a computer. Yeah. But again, they don't have bones. They don't have vasculature. So I would not want to be put into a computer. But I wouldn't mind having an extended lifetime. I wouldn't mind that at all. Because then you could really gain wisdom to share with others. Yeah, I think 500 would be my limit. Probably 300. I'll probably be having enough of this place after about 300. But then you could have living references. People that you could directly talk to, you know, who could think back over 300 years. But no, I wouldn't want to live forever. Ugh. No thanks. Give me a break. I don't want to be here forever. I'm not against it. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't think they'll ever be able to do physical immortality. They might be able to transfer the consciousness of a human brain into a computer. But I don't think they could ever do physical mortality. Thanks. Not everybody's minds are gone. That's just a fact. It's only if you develop certain disorders and the age starts failing. That's why I never stop reading. I never stop doing crossword puzzles. Because it is very much with your brain, the normal demyelinization that happens with a person without a disease. It is really a case of you use it or lose it. Like, that's already been proven. So I'm always doing crosswords or reading a physical book during spare time. Yeah. Most people, you do get more forgetful as you age, but you don't lose the memory. It might take you a fucking day and a half to go, oh yeah. But the demyelinization in a person without disease literally happens due to use it or lose it. Period. So that's why if you notice that an old person has worked like on a farm their whole life, if they get any kind of injury that makes them not work, then they die. If they don't get that kind of an injury, they will work, because that's using your brain, it's just in a different way. They'll work on that farm or whatever until they drop dead in the field. And it's their bodies that give out, not their minds. Or look how long Stephen Hawking made it, and his body was compromised. But yeah, that's why you see these old people that they just keep going and going and going. Yeah, whatever way you use your brain, if you use it a lot, that's another reason why I had to change the way I ate. When I found out the gut-brain connection, I almost had a heart attack. That's my thing. I've always been good at that. And when I found out the connection between the gut and the brain, I was traumatized. I didn't know there were fucking brain neurons in your digestive reason. I was like, like, no. Oh my God, packaged foods give me anxiety now. It gives me anxiety. I'm like, what is that? What's in that package? You want to talk about something to change my eating habits? Watching that documentary, I was like, oh my God, absolutely not. Like, that was traumatizing. I've never been more traumatized than when I watched that fucking thing. Now, I'm not saying I don't ever eat pizza, but I used to be a packaged food kind of gal. I believe they just found something like that, Mariah. I'm a packaged food kind of gal. Not no more. I can't remember the name of it, but I do believe it's on my YouTube list of the truth about the world you live in. I was traumatized. I was like, oh, packaged nothing. I will eat a raw bean before I will eat macaroni and cheese. I was so traumatized by it. Because when your brain is the only thing you've ever had going for you for this many years, the thought of that thing failing, especially since it doesn't, none of the dementias or the Alzheimer's doesn't run in my family. I was like, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No chance in hell I'm risking that. No. Oh my God. No. No. Traumatized my ass into eating better. Now I got to get off my ass and exercise to lose weight, but processed food gives you a lot of the problems, but so does the air you breathe, the water you drink. It's all messed up. But when they told me it would affect my brain, I was like, oh, no, we're not doing this. Stop right now. My family was like, what? I was like, no, I just found out. I was like, oh, absolutely not. No, that's the only thing I've ever had going for me my whole life. There's no way I'm going to let Nestle take that away from me because Nestle owns like 99% of everything. No. I was like, Yeah, that's why like people are talking about, oh, the aluminum in deodorant. Do you know how much aluminum's in your fucking water, bitch? Do you know how much chemicals, even if you got well water that your ass just drank? Do you know how much false estrogen gets in your thing from the receipts that you handle? Or when you sit on furniture or on curtains or anything that has fireproofing? That's the last of your problem. Aluminum in antiperspirant is the last of your problems, ho. Actually, they make a lot bigger deal about fluoride than what it is. And that's another one of those things where they blew it way, way out of proportion. Fluoridization is not a bad thing. And this is one I always hear when people are like, your pituitary gland is calcified. It's got a calcium thing around. What the hell do you think this is? What do you think this is? What do you think this is made of? Just shot in the dark here. What do you think this is made of? Rock? Because it's not. It's calcified. It's your skeleton. So when people start with that, I'm like, do you know what the hell your skeleton's made of? I don't fault anybody for changing it. Don't get me wrong. I don't fault anybody for changing their deodorants. What I'm saying is I got more things on my mind than aluminum in my deodorant or fluoride in my water. You can have too much fluoride. It's very rare, but you can. But it's very rare. There's so much other stuff in your water. Look, go look at your state. I went up and looked at the state water quality. Go look up your state's water quality. You will die because there's like no state that is even remotely close to their limits. We're all over limit. I've been drinking it my entire life too. It's full of shit. Where am I going to go? If you're not rich enough to have certain waters brought in, if you were super wealthy, you could actually be clean eating. You could have your food and your brought in from organic farms or that Polygon farm and all that. You know what I mean? I always thought aluminum was a direct cause of breast. No. No. Do you also know that a lot of cancers in your breast, if you get a biopsy, you need to ask them what type of cancer it is? Because a lot of women have little tiny cancers that are normal. They don't get any bigger than what they are. You have to ask them what kind of cancer was in the biopsy. Chronic diarrhea? Try the artichoke leaf from Superior Labs. Has to be Superior Labs. They're the only ones that include dead brown artichoke leaves in their mixture. And you have to have the specific compound from the dead brown leaves with the green leaves in order to get the effect. They've also found aluminum in the brains of someone who lived perfectly cognitively until they were 105. That's what I'm saying. These studies will tell you, oh, aluminum found in the brain of Alzheimer's patient. Do they ever show you what the occurrence of aluminum is in anybody else's brain? No, because they don't want to. They want to scare you. That's what they want to do. So anytime you see a percentage of this in such and such patient, ask them, what is the percentage in a healthy patient? You won't see it. You won't. You have to ask for the control. That's why I have control candles in magic. You have to find out the control in the study. You have to, because that's how they fool you. If you talk to any, for instance, if you talk to, what's another one that they did? I'm getting tired. I can't think of it. But yeah, you always got to, when you see those studies, go find out what the control group was, or if they even did one, more importantly. And if it's a company, especially a drug company that did the study, it's absolutely not accurate. In order for you to get an accurate study, it has to be a study that was not funded by any type of capitalist private funding. You have to get, because they'll lie. I'm too tired. I didn't even pay attention. All right, y'all. I'm going to go and take some sleeping pills and try to shut my brain off. Oh, yeah, I collect rainwater. What are they going to do, arrest me for collecting rainwater? Whatever. I didn't even see it. I got something in my teeth. I got fake teeth. All right. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Night-night. 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 No, the last Lowe's lives are from TikTok. I just haven't uploaded them yet. I'll get there.